Hello and welcome to the Everyday Board Game Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Daniel.
And I've been your host, Daniel.
Did that throw you off?
A little bit. Guys, like, you're flipping your coin already? What's going on?
I had the coin ready. I want to be prepared, and I was like, which coin am I using? So I was like, we've been using this coin a lot lately.
Yeah.
The Dragon Head from Retro Game Series. I got to give credit to Gatwick Games for this coin. Super cool coin. But we're using right now this one, the one with the skull and...
Yeah.
I can't tell what's on the back of this. Like a pirate ship?
I keep thinking it's a Hamilton coin because it
looks like Hamilton. Right?
I think it's something Les Miserables, because that looks like the logo for Les Mis.
Well, almost, yeah. I don't know. I don't remember where this coin came from, but...
we got it from the Gamma Expo. Someone gave it to you, so I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, it beats me. But either way, I have the coin ready, the Coin of Doom. Classic. And
it throwing me off for a minute in the beginning of the episode, too.
Yeah,
it's like,
it happens.
why are you flipping it already?
Yeah, just in case. And I'm your host, Daniel. Just to make sure we didn't want to change up the order of how we're introducing ourselves. No, Daniel, you know what? We just came back from a trip.
I've already dealt with you a lot. So.
Yeah, we'll make this a short and easy debate. I don't think this will be too tough today.
I think we scarred Gamehead Geek.
Yeah.
Our argument about tier lists.
Yeah, well, there's good... One of the tier list things that he did bring up, since you brought this up, was a bracket ranking.
Oh, okay.
And he brought up a really good point, with why he thinks it doesn't work for him, And so, context, we're talking about a YouTube channel.
They don't need context.
That me and my son found about a guy who was ranking tier lists with a tier list, and so he's using tier lists to rank tier lists to say what are the best ranking systems. And so the bracket, it makes sense. Like, let's say if something beats the first place, right? Or let's say like the first place and the second place is right next to each other in the very first round by random seeding or whatever. If you really want the second place to show high, it's not going to reflect that because it's already eliminated in the first round of a quarter.
So guess what?
It's not as...
I'll tell you what I told you on Sunday.
Well, I know.
I don't care.
I know you don't care. I'm just saying that's where I take from the... You know what? Let's get into today's episode.
We're going through this again. I'll tell you what I told you yesterday. I don't care.
Yeah, and I had to put up with this all day. It was terrible.
No, I think Gamehead Geek had to put up with this all day. And I think he got ahead of it because of us.
He probably did, honestly. Like it wasn't too hot out.
No.
We got food at a reasonable time.
Mm-hmm.
We had some caffeine. It shouldn't...
He also had lack of sleep because he overslept when he was supposed to be meeting.
That's true.
And mind you, this was his idea.
Yes, it was his idea. We were the prepared ones, and it is what it is.
And that's saying something about this guy.
You're the only one laughing in this room, sir. No. Let's get into today's episode.
I'm the only one
in this room. Top 8 debate, Anthropomorphic Animals. This was an interesting one.
I think you picked this one because I struggle with the anthropomorphic animals.
Well, that's why
it's my version of cinnamon.
Yeah. You like those synonym rolls? The kind that grammar used to make?
Exactly.
The classics,
I'm one of those people. That's the word I struggle with is anthropomorphic animals.
Anthropomorphic, yeah. I know I misspelled it, but that's okay. Nobody else sees these notes. That's all that matters. No, this is our top 8 debate. And it made sense. We were talking about what we're doing for, the Thanksgiving time
cycle.
Frame.
Yeah.
We've already done, a lot of different topics that we're doing.
We've done food.
Yeah. So, you eat animals during the season, so let's talk about humanizing them and make us feel really bad about it when Thanksgiving rolls around.
And what's funny is, one of the games on... I think it's on my short list. Yeah, it's on my honorable mentions. There is an See, there we go. Anthropomorphic turkey in it. So,
oh, there you go.
So I was like, okay, yeah, I felt a little weird. But we also like doing stuff like this, like the next 2 month cycles between November and December. It's all about the time here in America is a family thing. We get together for Thanksgiving. We get together with our family. We're actually going to a Board Game Geek Con right before Thanksgiving,
That's
so
right.
we're spending time with our other family in a sense. poor damn it, Dom.
Yeah, we've spent more time with us. My wife was actually advocating this afternoon when watching YouTube, hanging out while eating dinner real quick before coming over.
Yeah.
She was like, "Can you just cancel? I just want to hang out with you. Can you just cancel?" I'm like, "No, let me just get it done because you still have work, you know." To do. She was like, "Yeah. Can you just cancel though?" I'm like, "No, sorry. You got it. I'm a busy man, and the better backlog we got, the better it is."
Yeah, yeah, and it keeps us within our bubble. So
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, it's it's a family thing, so we're going to be doing some stuff that we're thankful for during this month cycle. We're going to be doing family-friendly board gaming companies during this time.
Yep.
You may even get, even though it's not part of the cycle this time around, you may get a bonus episode where we talk about the con that we're going to, just for everybody's purposes. And we're going to do some family fighting, in a sense, with the back end of this cycle when we go to our brainstorm. And the topic that we chose for that one is going to be an interesting one. Yep. Because that one's a little, feisty. But then we're going into the Christmas cycle right afterwards, and we want to do stuff around the family friendliness. And so why not start with animals that we end up eating, but let's make them humanized.
Yeah, exactly. Make us feel bad about it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, but before we get into that, Daniel, what have you been playing?
Well, we're just coming off spooky season. Again, we're recording this a little early, so it's technically still spooky season for us. But there's a game that we went through in our spooky season cycle that we talked about, and we compared and contrast, because there's two games that came out at the same time.
Yep.
And when we did that, I'm like, man, I really want to get to the table again.
Yeah.
So you and me had a game day because you were on your fall break. Mm-hmm. And so we're like, oh, let's just go play some games and get some games done. And I'm like, let's just play this because I've been thinking about it and I wanted to play it, so I did. Yeah. And this is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the board game. If, again, you go listen to that compare and contrast, you'll get to hear our thoughts fully on this game. But not only did you and me play it, I actually took it to my other game group this past weekend for them to play it and try that out. And I have to preface it like I prefaced it with my friends. It's not a good game when it comes to like being strategic and thinking your moves 4 or 5 turns ahead. It's more along the lines is what we always say, it's a fun game. There is a fine line between good and fun. Some games feel like you're doing homework. This one is like, I'm not being that strategic, but oh my God, Leatherface keeps chasing me. No. Get him away from me. That kind of thing. And that's what we always are advocates of. Let the game be fun first. Then you can really do the strategy in there. It doesn't have to be super simple, but doesn't have to be super heavy either. It doesn't have to be overly complicated where my brain is fried by the end of the time we're playing it, and I now have to go play like 40 different little small card games just to get my brain to grok again. Mm-hmm. But I love this. It's a fun little push your luck. I love the look of this game. It is a fantastic looking. My thing is instead of the minis that they're forcing people to get or that you could buy, give me acrylic standees.
Yep.
That would make it so much better. The cardboard standees are fine. I love the way they look on the thing. If you gave me acrylic standees on that board, this game would be like a 10 out of 10 almost for me, just based on the look. Because the bag is amazing. Yeah. The most useless piece of equipment ever, the barbecue tray, which is it's useless, but it helps.
Great.
It's great.
Yeah.
The board is great. The little tokens for your blood splatter. The fact that there is player elimination, sort of. That's only at the end of the game kind of thing. If everybody else who's got the gas cans and the keys leave and someone gets abandoned, oh well. We still won. We escaped. We appreciate you for your sacrifice kind of thing. Yeah. And so I did show this to my other game group, and I ended up getting sacrificed as the sheriff, which
they were going to do it regardless of.
Yeah.
If you happen to have the keys and a gas can that they needed, they would have thrown you at Leatherface,
take that stuff and go.
Get out of there. Yeah.
So no, I had a blast. I really do enjoy this game a lot. Like I said, it's not a great game, but man, is it fun.
Yep. Cool. Speaking of like not great games but still fun, I showed you and Dom. It was my pick this last week. And we played just a plethora of games.
We played, 9?
9 games, yeah. And I mean, because they were just back-to-back. I just wanted to play a bunch of, like, short games. And sometimes, like, that's, like, yeah, the big, meaty, like, heavy strategic games, there's a time and a place, and it's great when that happens. Mm-hmm. But sometimes, like, I just want, like, let's go. Let's just have, like, there's a silly game. Let's do this, Mm-hmm. And we had a whole plethora of one. But the one that I really was, like, excited to show you, because I know you're not that big of auctions, is just one of the dumbest auction games I own, and I just love it. It's called Going, Going, Gone. And I don't say it dumb. I don't think it's a dumb game. I think it's a clever way to do it.
I don't hate auction games. It's more based on how the bidding is. That's where I have a problem. The bidding here is fantastic.
This is dexterity bidding. Like, this is what makes it so good, is because you have a number of cubes. They're called bucks in front of you, and they're worth money, right? And at the end of the game, you're going to sell your collections. There's 49 cards, 7 different types, 7 different countries, and it's also the color of the background. So, 49 cards. You have 5 plastic cups that are clear, and you deal out 7 cards. 2 of the cups get 2 cards each. And all you do is one person has the board, which is the auctioneer, and they count backwards from 10. 10, 9, 8. The only rule on that, you can go as fast or as slow as you want. You just have to stay consistent. You can't change that. And you're just putting cubes in the cup. If they miss the cup, they don't count, right? You'll get them back. That's fine. And whoever bid the highest per cup gets the cards from it. And there's every once in a while there's just this time where we weren't expecting it. Me and Dom were just kind of like casually like, all right, I think we're gonna be this, and you just gotta go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Whoa! Start chucking cubes.
Dom basically just shotgunned and
oh man, just cubes flying everywhere. And then you slam down the board, and you're like, and nobody knows what just happened.
We don't know what we did.
And we're just laughing hysterically because of just how dumb that was.
For me, is at the tail end of the game, because I had 3 things left. I'm like 10, 9, 8, 7, 3. So I put my 3 in one cup, and it's like, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we're going anyway, right?
Yeah.
No, I just love how like just absolutely ridiculous that ends up being, you know, and again, it doesn't have to be like this strategic, clever, like outwitting your opponent. No, chuck some cubes into cups and have fun.
Yeah.
Call it a day. Like it doesn't need to be this long drawn out process. And yet, because of that, it just leaves itself to just be absolutely a riot. I've always been an advocate of this game. Like, and
it's always a sin, though.
It's really bad, but I've always been an advocate of it. Like, the box is too big, the pieces are a little
it is.
The cups are great. Like,
it's ridiculous because it's a Ticket to Ride size box that has one of those
and it's rectangular. It's not square.
And it's got the trench system that you would see in the old Asmodee or the Eldritch Horror stuff.
Right.
And that's just for the cups to be held in there in the cubes. That's pretty much it. There's cups, cubes, and one giant board.
And 49 cards.
In the 49 cards. Yeah. It could easily go into like one of those all-play big box things if you had like that board come out as a fold.
Yep. Yep. So. No, I just think it's just but at the same time, despite how dumb it is, it's actually kind of a clever design, right?
Yeah,
you know,
it's fun.
It like 7 or 5 simultaneous auctions in 10 seconds by just chucking cubes. There's another way I didn't show you where there's an alternate way to play it where you actually take the box and you put the 5 cups below the box lid and you deal out the cards like normal, but you have to bounce them off of the box lid.
So you got to play beer pong to bid.
No, it's more like just like, you know, off the backboard kind of thing. But yeah, you're all like, it's at the end of the table and you're chucking them that way into, you know, because is this game serious? Of course not. It's not supposed to be, and it very much brings that.
You know, it's kind of funny that we're talking about this during like our Thanksgiving era, because that's the thing. These are the kind of games you can play with your family and have a blast. Grandma can play it. Your 8-year-old can play it. These are just like fun, fantastic games. Mind you, this game is ugly as sin. I'm not gonna lie. This is circa Stronghold 2013-14 that age. So if you know those games, you know. I have a few that are not lookers from them around that time. I just actually picked one up recently when we did that trip we just did.
Yep.
And it's not a looker. Let me tell you. I was looking at those cards and I was like,
No, I just it's just funny to me. So there it is, Going, Going, Gone. Scott Nicholson, original board game reviewer.
Yeah. What's also interesting about it too is like we were talking about it. We got together that Tuesday and played games, or it was the Thursday. It was after. So we played like 9 there, and then we also played the week you were out with like another 8 games, plus the one we did for that week's the game night. So yeah, we got a lot of gaming in the last 2 weeks, and it's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to like limit down to just 2 that we're talking about.
Yeah, we'll do 4 tomorrow or next week. So
sounds good.
The next one I want to talk about, and the last one I'm going to talk about, is another one that we played together in that short time frame as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We were going 1-for-1 for games. You were doing a lot of 2-player games. I was trying to get some games that I wanted to play and get some games off the shelf of shame that I haven't played or games that I haven't played in a while, and to help you with your goals, because we're getting close to the end of the year. So, but the thing about it is, I haven't played this one. I played the other two that came in this set, and this is the first time I've ever played this version of it, this one, and I actually enjoyed it. It's a Stephen Rhodes game out of the collector set of the original Volume 1 Stephen Rhodes games, which came with Let's Summon Demons, Let's Dig for Treasure, and this one, Don't Talk to Strangers. And this one's like an alien invasion. Your kid's trying to get home from school without getting captured by the aliens, and you're screwing with the other player by trying to get their kids kidnapped. I won by something I love to always try. Space Base has it. A couple other games have it. Is the I win scenario. So I had to get kids into the library, and then I had to flip the saucer certain amount of times, and I have to get 2 saucers based on how many kids in there. So I can flip it 4 times because I had 4 kids in there, and I have to get 2 successes no matter what. If I had 6 kids in there, I still only have to get 2 successes, but it's a good scenario, and it's an instant win. There's no scores then. If that doesn't happen, then it's at the end of the game, whoever has the most points were basically saved kids. Yeah. But what's interesting about this is there's certain card plays that you can do where you could abduct a kid while they're in the house, or kick those kids out of the house to a different house, that kind of thing, because the mansion, is a high point area, and then the other houses are only worth 3 points. But hey, they're safe in the park, and they're safe in the pool for some reason, because I guess this is the aliens from that weird M. Night Shyamalan movie, and they can't touch water. So
spoilers.
Yeah. That's been out for a while, so
that movie is it, and how did it end?
I forget what the name's called. I think it's like Signs or something like that. But that movie is older than the game you talked about just recently. Yeah. But Don't Talk to Strangers is really cool. I've liked all 3 games out of that set to the point where I just recently picked the most recent, or the Volume 2 now, to try those ones out. And 2 of those games look decently enough that I'll like. One of those games is right already on my list that I'm like, I know I'm probably not going to like it, but I'm still going to try it.
And that's the, let's call it the Exorcist, right?
Yeah, it's social deduction.
I think, and while I think this will be like mid for you, I think because of what it does, I think you'll appreciate, I think you'll like it more than most social deduction, honestly. And that's just my guess.
There's only one social deduction I can actually stand, so that's saying something. If this could be the second one.
I think this might be an exception to the rule.
But
we'll see.
Don't Talk to Strangers is good. It's a simple card play game, and also I just love it because of the shenanigans. Like this whole set, the shenanigans is just through the roof, which is fun. They're not great games again, but they're just fun. The laughs and the memorable moments and this is the stuff that we get into with this one.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. And the last game I wanted to talk about today, so I said at the top of the episode that you and I actually went did a trip recently, as in last night, literally. We took a day trip over to...
wasn't even planned. This was not going to happen, and then what? Gamehead Geek texted us during the week, or
yeah, it was literally a week ago.
Yeah, it's
and just said, hey, throwing this idea out there. You guys want to go take a trip over there? I gotta do it anyway. We're we'll hit up the game stores and bookstores. Sure.
Spent way too much money than I should have.
Spent way too much money, as we always do. Got to support the stores. We that would be shameful of us not to spend too much money. I mean, let's be real.
I spent way too much. I went with I'm going to do this, and I blew that all the way.
But the good thing is, I mean, they had our collection quite a bit, right? I traded in more than 38 games. I counted 38 games. I came back with only about a dozen.
I traded in 2 bags full. I came back with just the small games and 1 big game that they didn't want to take, which is fine. And I came back with quite a bit of games, but they're little small card games. I got Combo from Happy Camper. I picked up Push from Ravensburger.
See it over there? No, you can't see it.
No, you can't see it on this one.
It's right on the edge.
Yeah, so I just bought a bunch of little ones. I got some little small card games.
Great, yeah.
So I was and that's what I was going for. I was I don't have a lot of space, so let's go for the small card games right now.
Yeah, because why not, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of Happy Camper, I picked up a Happy Camper game called Four Doors, and it's a new game from Matt Leacock.
Is this the one you're going to talk about?
Yep.
Okay.
Ben Pinchback or something like that. Matt Riddle, I think, are the names.
Ben Pinchback, Matt Riddle, and Matt Leacock.
Matt Leacock. This is essentially Forbidden Island, the card game. Like, honestly, it has such a strong feeling of that. It's clever. It works really neat. You have 4 doors, go figure, and they're all part of a lighthouse. The lighthouse, the beacon is on the very top. You have to unlock all 4 doors to light up the lighthouse and then get there and get out by gaining light. And you're trying to ward away the shadows. So each card is essentially multi-use. Some have abilities. Some are the actual relics themselves. Like you need to trade in 4 green relics to unlock that door, right? Or to gain the green relic. I guess you have to gain the actual relics themselves. But while keeping the doors open. The thing is, the cards on the bottom will be the shadows, and they'll either be the left or the right side of each of those doors. And if any of those exceed 3, so you get a 4th or more on it, then unfortunately that door closes a little bit. And if it's already partially closed and it closes again, you have to discard it along with the other cards, and they're removed from the game. If you haven't yet gotten that relic unlocked, then you lose. That's it right then. So it's just kind of like in Forbidden Island, where if both of the island parts sink before you've gotten the relic, you're done, right?
Yeah.
But here's what it does differently. Since there's a bunch of multi-use cards, because the cards could either represent the left or the right side, you essentially you could hold up to 6 cards per door, and each door could be hit twice before it's gone. So that's a lot of cards, but granted, when it's gone, it doesn't discard the door or the shadow cards. So there's that. But there are also the good cards that you're trying to play. What this does that none of the other Forbidden games do that I really like is that when you unlock one of the components, one of the relics, that relic gives you an ability that you use from then on out, which is super cool. But I gotta say, out of all of the games, but Happy Camper makes some really pretty stuff.
Yeah.
Trio is just beautiful how it works. There's decent components for one too many rabbits.
Yeah.
All of the games I'm pretty happy with. This, he went all out. Like it is
Jungle
so
looks
stunning.
really good. I was looking at the cards today.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, Jungle looks great. This is stunning. And the best part is that he used gold foil on certain cards, specifically the beacon light. When that's unlocked, it just radiates because it's shiny as well and it has beautiful artwork. And the 4 relics, they sat on their matte side, but when you flip them to their shiny side, that's when you've unlocked them. And it's such a cool visual look that it works really well. The components are great quality, and you have 6 pawns as well, but it doesn't need to be more than that. I'm really impressed by it. I played it as solo. It destroyed me.
Well,
yeah,
good.
The only thing is, I want to try this in multiplayer. I think it's better in multiplayer because there was times where I was like, wait, I need to time this. Oh wait, I already changed the car. Okay, hold on, let me go back and let me do this, and this. Yeah. Granted, it was like first thing in the morning, so maybe I was just tired. I want to try it again, but I was really impressed. The 4 doors from Happy Camper, very impressive game. All right, let's get into today's episode. So we have our top 8 debate: Anthropomorphic Animals.
Yeah, I'm not saying the word.
No, I was looking at you like, hey, what's your thoughts on this? There's quite a few games that
actually, I enjoy almost every game on our list. And one of them, I have issues for being on this list. Because you didn't even know it fell into this category until the expansion.
Right. I know which one you're talking about. No, so here's the thing, right? Like, Anthropomorphic Animals we know as like a kid's
people think it's like a kid's
cartoon kind of thing, right?
Like Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse, exactly. So the question
Disney,
is,
don't sue us.
The ones that I wonder, the questions that I wonder with this is, for one, does it make sense that animals are doing this? Obviously they can't physically do it, but does it make sense that they change it to animals instead of kids? Like, if it's a game where it's I want it to be very clearly more of an animal themed game or more of a kids style weight game, then it's yeah, we'll put animals instead of people, because then that helps emphasize that it's more of a kids game or something that a kid could play. Or
Only one of these really fall into that category.
Right. Well, no, I think a couple could. But, like, what I'm saying, though, is that it, like, instead of, like, going with, like, a real serious or darker theme, or does something in the mechanism or quirk, like, really bring out, like, oh, well, these animals, like, that they're, okay, that's funny. You know, because, like, if there were these animals doing this, that, of course, makes sense. Like, you know, and I'm curious as we debate these, how that goes in. But that will be more clear why I picked my honorable mentions, because that definitely has those feels of like, if they're going to make it into animals, they did it right because they did it this way, and I think that really works out.
Sure. Not what I was going for.
Well, what are you looking for this list?
Honestly, this is just a weird list for me because, I mean, every one of these could be just humans in a sense.
Right.
One of these was made with kids in mind. It's the only one that was made in mind to play with children.
Yeah.
And so everything else is technically made for adults. In fact, one of the games on this list looks like it's made for kids, and it's probably one of the more thinkier games that you play by yourself.
Yeah. Now, granted, of course, this is made, like, we're effectively playing with toys. So
yeah,
there's
it is that,
right?
Yeah.
You know, we have a little bit of that. But let's start with let's read off what we have here. We have our number 1 seed, Everdell.
Going up against our number 8 seed, Mice and Mystics.
Our number 2 seed, Apiary.
Going up against our 7 seed, Libertalia.
Number 3 seed, Bunny Kingdom.
Going up against our number 6 seed, Tiny Towns.
And our number 4 seed, Flamecraft.
Going up against our number 5 seed, the one I was just mentioning right now, for Northwood.
Shall we get into honorable mentions?
We shall.
All right, let's do ours first.
All right, for me, my first one I'm going to talk about kind of falls into that line of Everdell. But it's made by a company who makes games that are family friendly that you can play with a younger audience. They even have this one where you can play the normal roles, which is mostly what you're going to be playing with adults, but there's ways to simplify it when you're playing with younger members. And this is from Kid Tables Board Games, and this is Creature Comforts.
Which they do a really great job of that.
They do a fantastic job of it. And in fact, I just picked up a new Kid Table Board game recently that I want to try. And it's a dexterity dice rolling game, so it looks pretty interesting. But this one, the Creature Comforts, it's all about preparing your family for winter, because you're about to go into hibernation. It's going to get really snowy, so you want to make things as cozy, and Creature Comforts meets that criteria, because that's what we call something that makes us cozy. What's our creature comfort? Do I like to warm up with the fire or play a board game or that kind of thing? Yeah. And so you're collecting all this stuff, you're getting resources, you're trying to make your life be better in a worker placement style game once fall or winter comes around, because once winter goes, final score wins. That's how it goes. You got the Anthropomorphic Animals. This is the one I was telling you about that has a turkey on it. So I was like, oh. But and they have like special abilities that can help you out as the different rounds. But when people go to that section, I love the fact that I have my dice, but there is also a pool of dice that everybody's using. So I have my 2, and I have those 2, and I'm like, I'm going to put my worker here because I know I can trigger this spot, and I can put my worker here because I know I can trigger this spot, and these workers are going there because I'm hoping you roll something I can use. Yeah. That kind of thing. And this, that push and pull is like, I am hedging my bets. I can know for sure I could set these up, so I may put my family members here, but I'm also going to go over here and hope that since I'm not first player, you roll the community dice, and you roll well, this way I can trigger those too. And I love that ability, and it's really neat. And there is dice mitigation where you can add or subtract from a die and stuff like that, so it's really cool. And that is Creature Comforts.
Cool. First one I want to talk about, I forgot about this game entirely until I was looking through the list of Anthropomorphic Animals. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. This is Good Critters. And this is a mafia-themed...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a mafia-themed, like, kind of divvy up, like, shrewd negotiation thing. But the animals that they use are stuff like, a bear and a fox, and, like... And they put them in suits, like, very much, like, mafia style. And they give them the most devious looks without being, like, intimidating or scary, like, actual physically scary. But you know that fox is up to something, right? You know, and all the animals that they picked for this just kind of bring that out. It's like, yeah, they're like kind of wheeling and dealing, like things that would be, questionable for them, right? It's like, well, I'll take that the bowl of honey or whatever.
Yeah,
I forget the animals or the items. It's been a while, but the actual like tone of it just works really well as you're like, oh, you sly fox, I swear, I know what you're doing in there, and I just like how it brings it out. It's a really simple game, and it just brings out that animalistic style of it without going into like really dark like actual mafia style, but you know that those creatures are or those animals are just they're shady.
Yeah.
So I love it. Yeah, right. That's Good Critters.
All right, the next game I'm going to talk about is one that it takes place, and this was another one that was made for kids in mind. They took a really heavy game and made it more family-friendly, and it's all about throwing pies for your kingdom, and this is My Little Scythe from Stonemaier Games.
Yeah.
I do like this one. It's a cute little game. It plays a lot quicker than Scythe, so yeah. And I do have a blast with it. I like what it does. I still haven't done the Pie with the Sky expansion. I do own it. I just haven't played it yet. But it does some really neat stuff. It literally has the same mechanisms as Scythe, just a more dumbed down, simpler version. And it's all about trying to get the most, I think it's like 6 stars or something like that, points, and you're doing it in different ways. Kind of like how you're doing in Scythe, a little bit of area control, trying to get certain things to happen. You're moving your characters. Oh no, damn it, Dom came in my space. I got to throw this pie at him. It's that simple. That's the Warframe, is that you're throwing pies, and it's not as nerve-wracking as with Scythe is sometimes when someone comes into your area and tries to take all your resources and stuff like that. So I do enjoy this one a lot. I also like the fact that this was made by a father and child tandem, because they wanted to make something Scythe a simpler game. Jamie Stegmaier really enjoyed what they did here, because I think they put it like on Board Game Geek, showing the rules that they did for the game, and he communicated with them and turned this into an actual physical game. So that's awesome. I really do like this one, My Little Scythe.
Cool. My number 2 is Ice Cool. And like everything about this is
I thought this was going to be on your list.
Yeah, I mean, it's great because your penguin's just trying to get fish, but you have to go to school and you have to deal with it, and there's a hall monitor who's trying to like capture you. So it's all high school themed, thus Ice School. But then like the pieces that you have, they're all like these little wibble wobble plastic bits that are heavy on the bottom, so they wobble. But you could do trick shots where you like spin them around and they like slide around, and
or you could flick them a certain way where they could flip over the wall.
Yeah, and they could jump over and stuff. And so like that janky physics as you're playing with it, like it feels like you're sliding around on ice, and it does it really well. It wouldn't have made sense with any other animal. The fish are above the doorways, and they just happen to clip right on real easy, and they hold the boxes together.
And they're also your points.
Yeah, they're also your points, right? And then you're just knocking these penguins around, and it's just absolutely funny, like knowing that the hall monitor every round is just trying to flick into you and like take away your hall pass and stuff.
My personal favorite is when you flick someone into the room with the hall monitor.
Oh yeah, that's so good, and it like wobbles around them and it like circles them and like. Yeah, it's so hilarious. This game is a riot. Ice Cool. I had to pick it.
All right, in the final game, you called it. This is on my short list because I adore this game. I like everything about this. This is all about those fat cats and those robber barons. This is Raccoon Tycoon.
The only reason I didn't pick it is because I knew it would be on your list.
Yeah, it is because I like everything about it. It's a fun economic system. It's a interesting little push your luck aspect. It has a lot of stuff in here, and there's a list I saw earlier on the short list from the audience over here that I don't like its predecessor. I adore
Wizard Lizard or whatever.
Wizard Lizard, yep. I adore this one because, and I think that's probably the reason is the Wizard Lizard overcomplicated this version. It's like, I don't need all this stuff. This game was perfect with how it was, and I don't need all the complication or heavier. The animals are cool. It's barely there, honestly. Yep. It's just basically trying to get the railroad kind of stuff, and you're trying to get all the fat cats and all the robber barons or the raccoons or whatever, the sly foxes. You're trying to just collect those to get more points at the end of the game. It's negligible in this game, but this game is so good, and that cover is amazing because it looks like an old school style, but it has the animals in it, but it looks like those 1980s Victorian era photos. Yeah, so it's really cool, but I do enjoy this one a lot. Raccoon Tycoon.
All right, my last one is just one of the best worst games ever. It's Kung Fu Zoo. And this one you are playing as one of 5 different types of animals, and your faction, you have like tigers, gorillas, elephants, and something else that's escaping me. But each of the animals are made up of little dice.
I'm surprised you didn't put
cubes.
Rhino Hero. I was thinking that was going to come on here.
Yeah, it was up there, but like, there's something about Kung Fu Zoo because the pit, it's basically like Crokinole, kind of, or kind of like that game that's like Crokinole where you still hit it with like a cue.
Oh, shuffleboard.
Yeah, well, no, not shuffleboard.
I know what you're talking about.
The one where like it used to be on like the old board where you flip it over and it's a chessboard, right?
Yeah.
They have the 4 pockets in the
Quorum?
corner. Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And so this is kind of like that. It's a dexterity game, but you flick your dice into it, and they're all in like either a sumo battle or like last person standing or for points or whatever. They each have their own ability based on what animal they are. And the best part is the cubes that make up the animals. They're designed to look like the animals. Like you have the face on the elephant on one side, and of course on the back side is his butt. On the bottom side is his 4 little feet. So like if he's like lying on his back with his feet sticking in the air, like he's stuck there. I'm sorry. And then you could like try and flick him into the points. Like of course if they land with face up or standing upright, they're just hilarious to look at, like as you're knocking them around, and then so it's like, oh, I knocked you over, and then just the components are just so great. Again, it's not that great of a game, but it's just so darn fun, and the characters are just hilarious, and I really like the color scheme that they used. It was like black, yellow, like teal blue, or like a really nice baby blue, and then it's great. So there it is, Kung Fu Zoo.
All right, and with that being said, as always, we put a poll up on our Board Game Revolution, not our Board Game Revolution, but on the Board Game Revolution on Facebook, and we allow the audience to add their honorable mentions. So we'll start here.
All right. Shall we flip?
Yeah.
All right. We'll start off. I'll give it the first one. David added Creature Comforts.
Hey, look, I did that one too.
Called it.
Kelvin added Root, and yeah, this was on here. This would have actually been on our list if I had actually played it.
Yeah, which you haven't yet.
Yet.
Now, granted, I haven't played a physical copy of it. I've only played it digitally.
Yeah, it still works.
Yeah,
and it
so
does all the
counts.
cleanup for you. So
I bought the app for a reason.
Yeah.
So I can play it. All right. Kelvin also added Ahoy, which we haven't played yet.
It's one of those. It's a leader game, so I'm very hesitant. Like I like some leader games, but they're so heavy.
Yeah, it's like a Vlada Chivadl, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you know what you're going to get into. It's
or
gonna be pretty epic.
Vital Lacerda too.
Not Vlada Chivadl. Vita Lacerda is who I meant. Yeah.
Jess added Citizens of Spark, which is a fantastic game.
And Jess also added Flip Tunes,
which is also another fantastic game. But I also knew who that person is.
Who?
Jess.
Okay.
It's the one that works for Thunderworks.
Oh. No wonder. Okay. We have some great people who added some stuff.
Kelvin added Harvest.
Yep. Kelvin also added Taiwan Night Market, which
I had to look this one. It is. It's cats. It's anthropomorphic.
No mind.
Anthropomorphic cats.
Yep. I'm good.
And added. Let's skip that one.
Yep. Okay. So to clarify, we missed one when we were putting.
Yeah.
I'll say we. It was you, but I will say we. That we missed one as we're making our list.
I also did this really late last night, so
after that whole trip, it's fine. Chris added River Valley Glassworks, which is actually one that I had all on my list, but I changed out for Kung Fu Zoo.
It was on my short list until I saw like Raccoon Tycoon. I was like, no, I have to put that one up there. Chris added Wonderland's War, and yeah, I guess because the Cheshire Cat is in part of that group too.
Yep, it sure is. Matt added Maple Valley.
Maple Valley is the sequel to Creature Comforts, and in fact, when we wake up for spring, we're going out and exploring. That's exactly the theme about Maple Valley.
There you go.
This is Gore. So I'm trying to figure out how to say that name.
Yep.
Added Honey Buzz, which we'll talk about here in a little bit.
Gore also added Mlem.
I'm surprised you haven't played this one. Is it because it's Space Cats?
Yep. I have no interest to play it. And again, it goes with my list. It's like, why are cats would be the least likely animal to go to space, especially not voluntary. Being cooped up in a small little space on their own to not
we're getting him on the cat rant here.
I'm sorry.
Tony added Critter Kitchen, which is the follow-up of Flamecraft.
Okay. Christopher added Emberleaf. Not familiar with.
Not familiar. Brian added Wizard Lizard.
Ooh, awkward. All right, Cameron added Thieves Market 2nd Edition. Oh, cool. I didn't know that Thieves Market 2nd Edition had animals in it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I like the original one quite a bit.
All right, and going to our comments here, Sammy added the cats of Mont Saint Michael. Michel? I don't know. Where's the A?
I don't know. Mitchell. That's what we'll say. Gordon said, haven't played most on the list, but River City Glassworks is a huge favorite at our house.
It's River Valley, but yeah.
Yeah, it's River Valley.
Sebastian says, I have no such games yet in my collection, but both Everdell and Root interest me. I hear things often, both excellent and terrible, about Root.
Yeah, if you listen to our podcast, we'll clarify any of those. Simon added, their presence is generally a warning about the quality of the game itself. Things like Everdell, Creature Comfort, and Root are relatively okay, but the only games listed so far that I rate well is Aquatica, which we got bumped off because of that.
Yeah.
Specifically with the expansions, end game conditions, and base game.
He's basically saying that the expansions make it better because the in-game base endings suck.
Which, I mean, clearly, like, again, like, that kind of leads, like, when they put animals into it, clearly Simon is, like, not necessarily a fan of that.
And it can,
which is fine. Like, that does kind of, that sets a certain tone for how serious you should take the game.
The game, yeah. And then the last one, and what I was smirking about earlier in the video, if you're watching the video of it.
And we normally don't say last names.
Yeah. But Paul Solomon commented on here, he's got to go with Honey Buzz here. Perfect time for the Fall Flavors expansion. Then again, there is Trinket Trove from Gamehead Games with amazing Sandera Tang art. I am, of course, biased on both these counts.
He's the designer of both.
Both those games. Oh, he's a co-designer of Trinket Trove, and he is the designer of Honey Buzz, and I believe he runs Gamehead.
Yep. So, I mean, sure you're biased, but again, clearly you like your games.
We got the Thunderworks people talking over here. We got Paul Solomon. We're hitting it big.
Yeah, we're hitting it big. We're hitting it big. There we go. Cool. So, you ready to get into today's episode?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, how do we actually debate these?
We go through a whole thing about it. He flips the coin of doom, determine who's going to go first. I go through the cup of doom, determine what game we're arguing. The reason we do it this way is because we need to not take a side and take our bias out of it. And there's the reasons why we do it. We have to both have played these games, and then to take our bias out, we use our G.A.M.E.R criteria, which we'll go into right now. First off, game immersion. Is the game fun to lose? Player interaction. This includes table talk or role-playing or the memorable moments.
Then we have art and production. The art, the pieces of components, and the graphic design.
The meaningful choice, the impact on other players, the depth of strategy, tactics, or skills, or do arbitrary choices or AP make a negative impact on the game?
Then we have the E in our G.A.M.E.R criteria, ease of play, simplicity and familiarity of the mechanisms, likelihood to get to the table via mechanism or theme, or is it easy to understand, learn, or teach?
And finally, replay value, length of time, scaling well. So as a 2-player game, play as decently well as a 4-player game. The minimum number of plays for the full experience, or the expandability if there's existing expansions, up to 1 possible future expansions, because if we see a Volume 1, there may be a Volume 2 coming out somewhere down the line, or it's confirmed by the publisher or designer.
And finally, of course, if we cannot come to a consensus, even without taking our bias in it, and our extra groundbreaking G.A.M.E.R criteria, if we still have it a wash, then we go to the vote. That's why it's so important that you vote on the Board Game Revolution group, so that way you can voice your opinion on it.
All right, we ready to get into this?
Yep, our first round. Everdell versus Mice and Mystics. Here we go. I'm starting us off.
And you get Mice and Mystics.
Cool. I was actually hoping for this because this is not one that I played often because I'm not an RPG kind of person. But I absolutely appreciate what this thing does. The reason they are anthropomorphic animals is because they are mice. But what happened was they were like traditional fantasy dungeon crawl characters, and due to an evil wizard, they transformed them into mice so that way they can get them out of the way. So they are doing a dungeon crawl effectively through like a medieval house, and a castle, right? Mm-hmm. And they have to deal with all heaps of things that mice would probably have to deal with. You're trying to gather cheese so that way you can capture spells. It's a multi-scenario driven like RPG in a box essentially. Mm-hmm. Beautiful artwork. My favorite is like when you go against the big bad and you have to fend off the cat.
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious. Like, that's genuinely just really clever. And of course, like, the characters, like, they act their own way. Like, a wizard mouse is really funny.
Yeah, and then you also have like giant centipedes that you got to fight off.
Yeah,
spiders,
exactly. Like bugs and stuff. Yeah. And it's just like, and it doesn't, they don't make it creepy, but the art is just gorgeous to look at. It's a lot of content in that box. I mean, I do think it gives Everdell a run for its money as far as like what it's doing, and it's a system that is actually easy enough where like not young kids, but like maybe 8 to 10, like starting off, if they're already somewhat familiar, if they play games in the house regularly, they could probably play it with adult help, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I love that theming. I love the components in this. They're great, and it's just like this is a generic fantasy crawl dungeon crawl
done well
that really justifies why it's anthropomorphic animals.
Mm-hmm.
That thematically really makes sense. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna turn you into mice. I can't kill you, but let's just transform you.
Mm-hmm.
Haha, too bad for you. You'll never get me back. And then now, as mice, you're dealing with mice problems, and I love it. Like, I think it's a really, really clever game. So, Mice and Mystics, personally, I think should move on, but there's a reason Everdell is that popular. Let's hear it.
Yeah, and so going on back into Mice and Mystics too, what's really neat about it, this is the game that really put Plaid Hat on the map because of how family friendly. They had a Summoner's War, like the first edition, that was kind of there, but Mice and Mystics is the one that put Plaid Hat on the map. But speaking of a game that put their company on a map, Starling Games got known because of this game.
Yeah.
This massive game that's right over his head, right over there, is so much going on in this one. It is a worker placement, tableau building, beautiful game. All the different meeples are cut differently. There is a plethora of expansions, including my collector's edition right above his head there. It is just everything and why it's so loved. There's one thing that kind of bothers me about this game is that I can be in summer while you're still in spring, or damn it, Dom could be almost done by winter time, and you and me are still back into the thing, and we're all in different seasons. And it's just weird. It's like, I get it, because you don't want them to like wait until everybody's done with their turns. Sure. But yeah, it's kind of weird that we're playing in different time frames, so I can be done quicker than you guys. But it is still possible for me to win, even though I'm done with all my turns, based on your point totals and stuff like that. And it's all about your group, as I mentioned earlier with Creature Comfort, it's all about your group trying to prepare for the oncoming winter and survive and stuff like that. So you're gathering resources, you're spending these resources, you're getting these people in your village is what it is. We all have individual villages. And we're building inns, we're building, we have farmers out there, like the spouses are working together, you have the farmers, you have people who have watchtowers, so you're trying to make sure everything's safe in there. You're also going on quests and trying to fulfill certain quests. I do like it. The resource values just out of the base box are amazing, which do really, really well. There's, like I said, plenty of expansions out of this one, and one of the few games that actually will beat Mice and Mystics with expansions, because there's 3 expansions. I think there's a little small one. There's the Heart of Glorm, and then there's the one that ends the full story. So there's 2 or 3. I know there's a small one that it was like a print and play kind of thing. So yeah, it is fantastic. How's it going, Colt? And
hey, Colt.
I do adore this game, and I like the fact that it has a table presence compared to some of these other games. Mice and Mystics does have a table presence as well. But this one has one of the... It is cool, but also the most unnecessary component, which is the tree. Yep. It looks really good. It is going to draw people to the table. But the tree is so unnecessary, especially when it comes to the 4-player game. They made an expansion that just gives you the back of that board, and that's where the tree would sit. And so... because
it's actually physically obtrusive.
So when you set it up at a 4-player, 2 people would need to be on one side and 2 people need to be on the other side, or else that tree's in the way of somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
And so... it is such a fantastic game. I like everything about it. There's a lot of meaningful choice. Yes, we're talking about Everdell, where the topic is anthropomorphic animals.
You got it that time.
I got it. I'm getting
nailed
better.
That word.
And it is. I like Mice and Mystics. I had a blast. I played it all the way through. Yeah. It's just not something that I'm going to ever go back to.
Sure.
Whereas I will play Everdell again. And they have like their own standalone stuff now too that have different capabilities and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, scenario-based games, like, there's a lot of minimum number of plays for the full experience.
Yeah.
Everdell, not as much, although it's super expandable. But, again, it gets in the way of itself. We bring up that tree. It's such an awesomely bad execution of a component. It's the best component, the best worst component.
It is, because it's fantastic, and it does really cool, but it gets in the way, especially how you have to sit at the table. So if someone has like one of those little square tables that you see like in, say, the shops and stuff like that, it's going to be harder, or like those little 4-person gaming tables that you'll see like at a board game cafe. If you have that tree up, somebody can't see.
Yeah.
And so, it is very unobtrusive.
It gets in the way of himself.
I think Everdell should go on. It's just because it has a lot more going for it.
Well, let's just break it down.
Okay.
Let's see if there's anything that maybe we're...
Mice and Mystics is game immersive.
Game Immersion is Mice and Mystics. Art and production, I would also say Mice and Mystics because of the tree. They're both fantastic productions, but one, Mice and Mystics doesn't have a hindrance.
It does at times, if I'm remembering correctly. There's like their line of sight situation too, where if you're in some of those darker rooms, you can't really see where those are. That was one of the few games where I had issues with the line of sight stuff. Kind of like Gloomhaven.
I'll be honest, I don't remember how the line of sight works, so...
both have great art, so that's a wash.
Yeah.
Pieces of components, the tree is annoying, but everything... I mean, they have the squishy blueberries, really good twigs, really great amber. It's just cardboard pizza with screen print or cheese. They look like little pizzas.
Right, but you have the minis and you have all the other pieces,
Yeah, no, I get that. And then you have the meeples.
To be fair, all right, let's just call that one a wash.
Yeah, and then the graphic designs, both are done really well. I see more of the Everdell stuff. Yeah. Like, everything is very clear, other than when the tree's in the way.
Sure.
But if you have that backboard, it's fine.
Yeah.
So, for me, I like the art production better in Everdell, but I don't know about you.
I think Mice and Mystics, because that tree is just really... When you have to go back and patch something that, like, they're like, okay, we see where we went wrong, and then they had to, like, give an option where it's like, hey, like, we know you really like the tree, but here's an option to play without it, and we know that we messed up somehow. Like, granted, I don't know a solution to that. I'm just saying, like, that part was awesome, but frustratingly unnecessary. Yeah. And I think that knocks it so much that even though I thought they were already pretty close, and normally I would say, because like the berries and like all the other pieces, like those would push it over the edge, I think that's just such a back step that I'm calling it a wash.
All right, we can call it a wash. I have no problem. The meaningful choice, though, that's Everdell, hands down.
Oh, no,
Because, and here's why. You have impact on other player strategies because you can go to their inn and work over there. You have a lot of good strategy in Mice and Mystics, but it's all about dice rolling.
Yeah, but you have so much stuff about the cards, like, being so contingent on other cards to score.
Yeah.
And there's no guarantee that you're ever going to see them. And there's multiple games where you'll play where it's like, ooh, if I have this other card, I'm going to score a lot. It's never going to come up, though, because they have hundreds of cards.
Yeah, but there's mitigating factors of that, too.
Yeah, and there's mitigating factors for dice rolls, too.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is in Mice and Mystics.
Have you played Mice and Mystics?
Yes.
How far?
Like the first few scenarios, but there is dice re-rolling.
Not really. You have to use the cheese, and if you're not getting cheese...
Yes, that's...
the thing, you're not getting cheese... And you need cheese to heal, too.
But if you're not getting the cards needed to dig through I think those are half and half.
The arbitrary choices because of dice rolls. That is my issue. Like, if it's a dice game and it's all about the dice, that is going to hurt a game.
When you have that much... Like, that was the reason I don't play Everdell anymore, is because there's so many...
You didn't play Everdell because you're a hipster and don't like anything popular.
Okay. You know what? We should discredit your argument now, because now you're just taking it personally. I'm trying to take bias out of it. I'm saying the reason I don't tend to play it anymore is because there was so many instances of these cards. Like, man, it'd be so cool if I could trigger this card because I need this other card to do it, and because almost the vast majority of those cards score based on other cards, and I never got those other cards.
I've had to replay several scenarios because of the dice rolls. Several scenarios because of the dice rolls. I played this game with Gamehead Geek. You know how he is with dice rolls.
Oh, fair. Fair. All right, so let's agree that's a wash for arbitrary choices and depth of strategy, tactics of skills. What about impact on other players? Because that is the one only other thing that is not based on random luck.
And I think there's more impact on other players when it comes to Everdell. Because I can go to a spot and block you. I can get the resources that I know you're trying to go for because I need those resources as well. You and me are racing to be the first one to reach a goal.
More so than RPG in a box, helping each other, cooperative.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's because I
don't feel like arguing. I feel like being friendly.
I'm just saying it's more impactful to me because I'm messing with your strategy as well as helping my strategy. Our strategy as a team is basically how are we going to tackle that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, which is a huge impact. But again, like I said, I haven't played either of these in a while.
Yeah.
And for that reason, honestly. But I fine. We'll put meaningful choice towards that.
It's easy. Ease of play is Mice and Mystics.
Yeah.
One, it's RPG in a box. If like you're a D&D player and want to teach an RPG style game to your children, that is where to start.
Sure.
The likelihood to get to the table, again, RPG in a box. Though Everdell is pretty, and people will look at it and be like, let's get that to the table. But this is the big one. Mice and Mystics is much easier to teach.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Much easier to teach, especially when you have to explain the different seasons and that I can be in the third season while you're finishing up the first season is just so weird, and people have an issue with that. Yeah.
But replay value, this is where it gets interesting. So ease of play, that's Mice and Mystics, I agree. Length time scaling, well, minimum number of plays, I think, is Mice and Mystics, obviously, because it's a campaign. Mm-hmm. But expandability, that's Everdell. Of course, it's massively replayable. And then, pieces and components. By the way, the box isn't big enough for the tree. Anyway, still.
Built.
Yeah, you have to rebuild it every time.
But it's because the tree's too
big. But length of time and scaling, well, Mice and Mystics, RPG in a box, you're not going to get a short game out of it. And if you do, then
you're not going to get a short game out of Everdell either.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and Cold Cardboard, right. I don't mind dice rolling either. Or if it's like a short game and it's like, well, whatever.
Yeah, but he's saying if there's plenty of mitigation, there's... a little bit of mitigation in Mice and Mystics. A little bit.
No. I mean, we're not going back to it. I'm just repeating what Cold Cardboard's saying. We're not going back to it. We're past this. It's family time. It's friendly time. We're going to stay friendly.
We never stay friendly in the top 8 debates.
Because you need to calm yourself, sir. I'm just saying. Put that lightsaber away, sir. Anyway, what I'm saying is replay value. I think what hurts the most is Mystics is just longer. And you're going to... It'll be a game night for a session. Yeah. Realistically. So, that's Mice and Mystics.
And Everdell can be... If people know everything in Everdell, it'll play quickly.
It'll be quicker.
Yeah. It's not going to play... You'll still get it in an hour.
Yeah. Ish. Hour, 90.
Well, it just... Like, if everybody knows what they're doing in Everdell, like, if they play it almost not fairly regular, but more regular, you can get it done in an hour.
How many players does it play?
That depends. I think 4 out of the box, but the expansions add to 6.
Okay. All right, so then we'll give that to Everdell. So Everdell gets 2. Mice and Mystics get 2, and then a wash. So let's bring it to the vote.
Mice and Mystics is...
Probably the least surprising one.
Man, it's funny because you hear people complain about Everdell, but is this...
No, you hear us complain about Everdell.
No, I hear other people complain about it too for the same reason. In fact, I just recently saw a review for the most recent one, and they had the same complaint about because they put a mountain in there instead of a tree.
Yeah, the same thing.
I'm trying to see if that was our biggest vote getter. It looks like
Ethno Second Edition. Did that have anthropomorphic animals? Yeah. It did. Yeah, I didn't realize that. Okay, there's a threshold where, there's enough mitigation, and when there isn't, Castle Burgundy is a midway point between those two. Yeah. Well, Castle of Burgundy, their mitigation, it doesn't need mitigation just because every die can do anything, except some actions are slightly better than others. Mm-hmm. The dice are really not just for rolling; they're just kind of like to choose a random lot, right? In a way, that's why I like it. Is that it's not something that has to be mitigated. It's just something that's like choose the best option of what you want to do. So I like that. So Everdell moves on. Mice and Mystics is eliminated. Next round, Apiary versus Libertalia, Winds of Galecrest.
The Stonemaier category.
The Stonemaier category.
Did you get it?
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, I got it?
Yeah.
Because I see a heads there, so that's why I was confused.
Nah, we got that.
I get Apiary.
All right.
Which I think you're happy about because the other one...
I don't know this as well. I know Libertalia much better.
because Libertalia is so simple.
Yeah.
It's really everybody.
Kinda, yeah.
No, well, everybody has the same cards,
Yeah.
and so somebody has to dig through the cards and call them out, and then everybody's just playing the cards however they want.
Yeah.
So for me, that is ease of play. That is
Libertalia?
Libertalia, yeah. That is by far the easiest game, probably on this list, except for one. There's one more game I think is slightly easier than Libertalia.
Right.
But
Oh, yeah. I can name a few, actually, that's easier than Libertalia.
Libertalia is easy to learn and easy to play. It's not that easy to master. There's certain things that you're like, wait, you got to do what now? That kind of thing. Right. It's not easy to teach.
It's not easy to teach.
Yeah.
It's
easy to learn.
It's one of the hardest teach curves for how simple the game is.
But Apiary is not much better, but at its core, it's a worker placement game that has one of my favorite mechanisms in it, worker placement bumping. And when you bump someone, they get to increase the power of their worker, which is kind of neat as well. It is, in a sense, space bees. So you're in bees in space, colonizing and making your honey. You're gathering resources to get better resources like honey and I think it's like wax or something like that. Because you have like fiber. There's 3 basics and 2 big resources. One of them being honey. They're gold. They're gold flake, by the way. Then you have like different spots of the boards that do different things. One is going to give you where you could grow your hive and give you more tiles to put out there, which could probably give you some more resources when you go into an income type thing. You have an area where you can move around and trigger certain actions based on the number that you put there, because your bees go between 1 and 4 and they'll get stronger as they're going, but once they get 4 they'll hibernate, and then you're trying to get the bonuses on there, but you kind of want your 4 bees because there's only one area they can go to, which could either give you some in-game scoring for everybody to try for, or some bonus abilities that you put into your hive that can make your abilities a little bit stronger and stuff like that. I love the asymmetry of each of the hives that give you a little something different, so I can play something different compared to what you're doing. Sure. There is one expansion for this game now, so that just recently came out. I don't know about Libertalia. I don't think they got an expansion yet. Okay. The art production, the art in production from the apiary is fantastic.
The cover is beautiful.
The cover is beautiful. The board is nice. That little queen bee that you get in that little moving of the queen bee part of the board is really nice. I love the little workers and how they easily work. It's a little weird that they're cubes, but it makes sense what they're trying to do because you're rotating the money, or not the money, their power. Yeah. I like the fact that when you decide to do a pullback action, you can put them in one place, but they increase them. If they become a level 4, they go into hibernation, and then you have to wait, and they go to the sideboard, and you have to go make that bee to come back into your hive. Yeah. And so those little triggers, and the in-game trigger is once all the hibernation pods are done, and so there's only a certain amount of rounds. I think it's like 7 rounds for a 4-player game, or 8 rounds, something like that, or basically the pods. Yeah. So it starts ramping up. It is an engine builder worker placement, so it will start ramping up. And towards the end of the game, you're sitting there like, oh god, slow down. No, don't take that last pod. I just need like 2 more turns to finish this off. But yeah, it's really neat what it does. I don't know if it's going to move on, even though it's really cool, just because based on our criteria, it has a lot more meaningful choice, and I think that's the main one I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah. It's interesting, right? Like I know I gave like kind of like I don't not to criticize or disagree. I'm just like it's a hard thing to compare, because one of the things that, as far as meaningful choice go in Libertalia, it's a simple thing, but you all have the exact same cards. You have to play effectively to justify, like, I know what you have. Mm-hmm. You have what I have. Yeah. I can't outwit you by drawing better. It is not like random, right? Like, it's random what cards you get, but everyone gets the same one, so it doesn't matter, right? And so you're not going to see every character. You're going to only see a handful of them throughout the game. There's like 40-something characters, which is crazy because you're only going to get 18, so you're not even going to get half of them every time you play. I think the biggest one for this is game immersion. Because, like, I feel like it's really thematic. Like, you're just trying to get the gold, no matter how backstabby you gotta be. Yeah. And you all have the same crews, so let's figure out who's going to manipulate their crew the best to get ahead and get that advantage.
We're going to try to take our bias out of this, but I must let you all know we're suckers for Polymori.
Yeah, we're Polymori fans. Yeah, for sure. And it's because of just clever games like this. Like, he's one of those designers like Phil Walker Harding or like some of the others that were just like, you know, they just do clever things.
Emerson Matsuuchi is another good one.
Emerson Matsuuchi, he's my streamlined, like, he's the most concise, like, elegant designer.
Mm-hmm.
Polymori is a clever designer. Phil Walker Harding is a clever designer. Phil
Walker Harding's like a mix between both. They're really streamlined and they're really clever.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's interesting. So it's, you know, game immersion, I think that has to go to Libertalia. Art and production, it's a wash, really. I mean, they're both really good. They're both functionally great. The loot tiles are great. All the components, the treasure chest is good.
Here's the thing with
all of those.
With the pieces and components for Libertalia. I upgraded them from Stonemaier.
Yeah,
I got better pieces now.
What pieces? Like coins, right?
The tokens that you're pulling out, they're wood now.
Yeah, okay. I don't know that it needed to be upgraded. Those are Azul tiles, but sure. I mean, wood tiles are pretty dope too.
Colt makes a good point. Libertalia also depends on the group dynamic.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. If you can read others, then you can really play the people.
It's not a really good con game for like a convention unless you know people. Because of the way you have to read. Unless you're a poker player, then that's a different story.
Sure, yeah. then you could really be enamored with it. I think ease of play does go to Libertalia.
Oh, I don't disagree with you on that one.
So, man. Yeah, okay, let's break it down. Game immersion, that's... Libertalia. Meaningful choice. And I'm just going to bring this up because I know it's going to come up in conversation later, but the big the reason I didn't fall in love with Apiary is because there was a lot of endgame stuff that if the other players get to it first, there's no way you can. And there was multiple times where I couldn't get any endgame stuff at all. Like and there was times where I just had to check out because I'm like, I need stuff to do endgame. Like it's not, I can't do anything for.
Well, they get good. That's all you get.
No, like it's We've bad when you and Dom are already good and you know to go for that. And I'm like, I'm at wit's end because like it was always like I would get a tile and then we'd pull out endgame score. Okay, you would get the endgame score, pull out endgame score. Don't get the endgame score, then it'd be an action.
I don't disagree with you. Like, there is arbitrary choices in there, but there's points where I think I'm playing clever in Libertalia and just something's not going to happen for me because you guys played the low cards and now I'm not triggering where I need to trigger.
Right, sure, yeah. Now, granted, that's not like... Yeah, that's tricky, right? Because it's not random per se, but it's like who it's the Princess Bride kind of thing. It's like, well, who's playing who and how do you do it? And there's a certain point where most people are just like, it doesn't matter. I'm flipping a coin now, right?
For me, it's the same like what you're talking about, like all the in-game bonuses in Apiary, where it got to me like at the back end of like when we were playing it.
Yeah,
I was like, I knew where I'm at now. I'm kind of screwed because I'm gonna get these curse tokens. No matter, I don't have any way to mitigate it because you guys still have these cards, and that's gonna leave me the curse tokens.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah.
So it's a wash.
I'm just bringing them. I'm just bringing up that point because like while. Comparatively, I don't think it matters yet. Later in future rounds, if Apiary does move on, I feel like that's just a really.
Oh yeah, no, I don't disagree with you whatsoever.
And I think you remember seeing me like go through that. I'm like, I can't do anything. Like, I'm frustrated now.
What I will say about Libertalia,
playing this.
It is legally distinct from a game.
Yeah.
But it made me go watch an IP because it just reminds me of Treasure Planet. So
yeah, why not? Right? Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Okay, Colt Cardboard. Yes, that's great. I played Apiary once. It should be renamed Apiary.
I will say awesome. This, even if it doesn't move on, even though I like Apiary a lot, and if it doesn't move on, that is such a really smart, fantastic game from a first-time designer.
Yes, Connie Vogelman. Oh man, that's impressive.
Yeah.
To even be compared to Polymori as far as like something like this, like that's saying something. So ease of play, I think that's Libertalia. Even though it's hard to teach, I don't think it's as hard to teach as Apiary.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all.
And replay value, length of time and scaling well is Libertalia, for sure. because it plays up to 6
it plays
really
so quickly,
cleanly, and it's simultaneous.
It's simultaneous, and then you just follow down during day. You follow the track this way, and by night you follow it backwards. It's so simple.
Yep, and you get 6 more characters, every single one out of a list of 40. Like, that's massive. So number of plays, probably Libertalia as well. Mm-hmm. Expandability is apiary because there's an expansion.
Well, that and the length of time and scaling was Libertalia.
Yes.
But the minimum number of plays, just out of the thing, the different boards play differently, so you're not going to see every asymmetrical board on there, as well as the expandability. There's an expansion there. So, but I still think Libertalia moves on by what I'm seeing here.
Okay. Well,
Game immersion, ease of play, and art and production.
Yeah, and again, like, I'm not saying apiary isn't as good as this or that Libertalia is better. But the reason it's ranked higher is because the people who like apiary really love apiary. Mm-hmm. And I can see this being a game in both. Both these games could be in the same collection.
I can see why apiary is ranked higher and why Libertalia is rated so low.
Right.
Because everybody was annoyed that they went with a lighter, less piratey theme for Libertalia. Sure. So this one is rated lower than the original Libertalia because everybody, the anti-Stone.Meyer people are going after this one too.
Right, or just like we want the dark, gritty pirates. Yeah. Pirates aren't supposed to be friendly and happy. Yeah. It's like, well, that's also why he put anthropomorphic animals in it.
Yeah. But the thing about Stone.Meyer too, he wants to reach more than just gamers. He wants to get families and stuff in there.
Yeah, exactly. So, Libertalia moves on.
All right. Next up, we have Tiny Towns in Bunny Kingdom.
Two of the lighter games here. All of a sudden, I'll be starting us off.
I know which one you want.
I can argue either.
Yeah, you got Tiny Towns, so
cool. Tiny Towns. This was the one you referenced at the beginning of the episode. I didn't know either that there was animals in this game. I admit that.
I didn't know it was Anthropomorphic Animals until this game.
I think Peter McPherson is the designer of this. This is easily one of the most clever games that make me feel so stupid playing it in the best way. Like, it's a puzzle. It's a really simple puzzle. You just, bingo style, you flip over a card, or somebody chooses a resource. Everyone puts that resource somewhere. There's probably an anti-Stone.Meyer cabal out there, for sure. Everyone gets that resource, places it somewhere in their 4x4 grid. 16 spaces, that's it. If you happen to make a pattern of a building, you take off all those tokens, or you may take off all those tokens, and place that building there instead. That's it. There is so much replay value in it. Oh, and that building is permanent. Mm-hmm. But each building has its own abilities. And so even though there's a bunch of tokens, a bunch of pieces, that every building has like 7 or 8 different variations of how it could work. This game is one of the most replayable on here, and replay value alone guarantees Tiny Towns because it's like 1 to 6 players.
It's 1 to 6. It has 2 or 3 expansions.
Yep, it has about 2 or 3 expansions.
And it has the replayability just out of the box because you're doing different buildings.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting, right? You know, replay value, that's a guarantee. Tiny Towns has it. Ease of play is also really simple. It's bingo.
It's bingo.
It's bingo.
You know how I got taught it? I know I'm supposed to be arguing for Bunny Kingdom, but I have to say this about ease of play. You know how I got taught this game?
How?
I was at Dice Tower West in 2019. Me, my buddy Angel, and Gamehead Geek. There was 20 people at the table. One guy is just sitting there calling all the stuff, and he would go to the person, which one do you want called? Yelled out for everybody. We played it like bingo.
Yep.
That's how easy it was taught.
It is infinitely replayable. Yeah, it's crazy. But meaningful choice, like, again, it makes you feel dumb in a really weird way.
This is the easiest game that's made me feel the most dumb.
Yeah, because halfway through the game, you're like, oh, I have no room for half of these buildings.
And you're sitting there like, oh, God, what did I do? No. I kind of screwed myself over because I got all these empty spaces and I can't put a well up.
Yep.
Someone better call something over here if I can finish this building.
Right, exactly. It is so messed up. Pieces and components, like, this game came out for like $40.
How's it going, Dice Chuck?
It's great. Hey, Dice Chuck. Yeah, this game came out for like $40 from AEG, and it has so many components in it, so many wooden building shapes. Great art and production. Bunny Kingdoms is fine. There's some issues that I had with it, but mostly it's pretty good.
Yeah, I know what your issue with was it. It's because it's your favorite or it's your least favorite mechanism.
No, the board was too small. That's what the rule.
I know.
Yeah, I mean it's my least favorite mechanism, but a lot of people like it for a reason. And actually, Richard Garfield did it in a really good way.
He did it really good.
Yeah, I don't have any quarrels with how he did it.
Though I watched a video on how to play the 2-player variant of it, and don't play this game. Don't play Bunny Kingdom at 2 players. Yeah. Don't do it. No.
Instead, play Tiny Towns at 2 players
Yeah.
or 1 player because it's a puzzle and that's awesome.
Yeah.
So game immersion. The only thing is Tiny Towns doesn't have any game immersion because it's thematically not how you build buildings. Resources don't take up spaces. That's not how the buildings are made, and there's no player interaction. You are. You know
what the player interaction is? Yeah. Why'd you call glass? Why I needed brick. Why did you call glass? Well, you should have called brick on your turn. Why didn't he brick then?
Yeah, why didn't he brick? Bro, aren't you bricking, bro?
That is the player interaction of Tiny Towns.
Yeah, so game immersion, take that out of Tiny Towns. Everything else, though, I think it gets 4-1 myself. But
here's my thing with Tiny Towns.
Yeah.
We didn't even know it was Anthropomorphic Animals till the expansion. It was like, wait, that's a squirrel. What?
Yeah.
When did they put that theme on this game? Because it didn't show it on the thing. It was just you're building buildings in a town.
Yeah. Can I interrupt real quick? Because Dice Chuck brought up a really good point. It's cool when you discover a game that uses a mechanism you don't much like, but it's so fitting and well executed you can't help but like the game. Yes, like exceptions to the rules. Like I'm not a pick and pass drafter. That's why Bunny Kingdom is okay for me. But I still very much like, out of all the pick and pass drafting, it did it well for what it was doing. And the fact that you just picked 2 cards instead of 1, like that's a really clever little mechanism that works actually really well.
It's funny because I get to argue the game that is probably my least favorite on this list.
Sure.
I just was never enamored with Bunny Kingdom like the rest of our group. I know Gamehead Geek was really big fan of, and it's fine. It's a pick and pass drafting, kind of area control, but you're scoring points based off of how you connect them in your network.
Yeah.
It's weird because the way the scoring, if I remember correctly, and I just had to get a refresher of it, works is that how you're connected to the resources are going to be tied to how many forts, tower forts that you have. The spires on the forts,
There's either 1, 2, or 3.
So if you have 2 spires and you're connected to 3 resources, you get 6 points.
Yeah. Yeah. Which makes sense.
It makes sense.
The thing is, like, the towers could have either 1, 2, 3, or 4 spires on it.
Yeah.
And they did break from time to time.
And it's not just that either. It's just like how it's very convoluted when it comes to a pick and pass drafting game because of the way it's smart how he uses the mechanism. But okay, I got to do this and I got to do this and I got to connect to this, and you're blocking me. However, the pieces for the bunnies were great. Yeah. All the little plasticky bunnies are out there, and they're multiplying like rabbits do, and that's the story on that.
Well, that's the best production thing. As I said in the Dice Tower, and I can never not remember this, they only ship 2 rabbits in the box. Yeah. By the time it gets to you, the box is full.
Yeah.
So dumb.
It's neat how it works. It's fun how it is. But it's not really. It's more immersive than Tiny Towns because of the fact that you're just building buildings and you're playing bingo in Tiny Towns.
Yeah.
The art production is slightly better in Tiny Towns. I mean, the bunnies are cool. The spires are not great. The board is kind of hard to read sometimes.
It's very small. In fact, they end up
having to do.
It's in a ticketerized box, but it's a much smaller board.
Mm-hmm. They had to do a whole expansion on there, and then like a quarter of it is just the scoring track. I'm like, you could have just used the whole thing, and then give us the scoring track around the board.
Yep.
So that there was a lot of issues on that. So the art and production, I think, goes to Tiny Towns as well. The meaningful choice, there's a lot of smart choices in Bunny Kingdom. So for me, I think that gets it because there's a point in Tiny Towns where you're just kind of stuck, especially towards the back end of the game if you don't have the ability to build certain ways or get the resources that everybody else is calling that you want, or that you want to get called, but they don't get called, that kind of thing. So it lends to that as well. There's basically negative points as well, because if you don't fill your board, you're kind of screwed on that as well. Tiny Towns is much easier, I'll give you that. So I think meaningful choice for sure is Bunny Kingdom. Game immersion is Bunny Kingdom. replay value is Tiny Towns, so I think it's 3-2, not 4-1 for me.
Okay. Either way, Tiny Towns moves on.
Yep.
And of course, all of our listeners right now on our live, tell us your thoughts on these games as well. But yeah, it is as if they placed veggies in your fruit smoothie. You didn't know what you were eating until they told you it was in there. Anthropomorphic Animals in Tiny Towns.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, yes. No kidding. That's how we thought when there was an expansion. It was like, everyone was like, wait, there's animals in it? Like, what is this?
Wait. I thought this was just a medieval building.
Yeah, that's what we all thought. It made no sense. All right. And our final one of the quarterfinals is Flamecraft versus 4 Northwood. 2 very different games.
I know which one I like more.
Yeah. I'll be starting us off.
You get 4 Northwood.
Okay, cool. So this is as far as clever goes, this is...
I still don't know how this works.
Right. Everything from side room games.
Yeah.
Like, everything I've played from them, which I have some that are still on my shelf of shame, but everything I've played from them, how? Like, how does this work? And I mean that as a positive. This game is a one-player trick-taking game. Mm-hmm. A trick-taking solo game. And the reason, thematically, what you're doing is you are playing a series of rounds trying to gather people to your cause for Northwood. And you're trying to go to these different areas of the forest or whatever, Northwood, the land. And you're trying to convince these animals to be part of your legion, right? And this is really interesting because the fact that it's the way you actually play it's standard trick taking where if one person leads a suit or if you lead a suit or the AI, I guess technically, or the automated system plays a suit, you have to follow in suit if possible. You have to pre-predict your tricks. That's how you know if you're going to win or not. Mm-hmm. So you look at your hand, and you're like, I could probably get 5 tricks out of this. So I'm going to go for this one right here because I need to get them on my side before not. And you try to play it out and you try to use it clever. But each of those different animals have a suit, a trump suit, that if you have to play out of suit and you're able to play that one, well then you can actually win that anyway. But you have to play exactly right. Not too many, not too little, and then you've convinced them. And thematically what they're doing is they're saying that it's you're having this conversation, and by playing off suit, you're kind of just like, like it's kind of going off the rails. You're not really talking about what it is, but then you bring them back in because like, oh, I'll play a heart. Well, it's like, you're really passionate about this. Let's talk about this. And you're bringing it back, and you befriend them to become your side, in which case you then get an ability if they become on your side. Wow.
It's
like,
so good.
I don't play a lot of trick takers anymore because I feel like a lot of them are just like, oh, it's like trick taking.
Wait, that's twist.
But you don't have. Here's the catch. You don't have to follow in suit. Oh,
there's only one that did that pretty well.
Yeah,
the cat in the box.
Yeah.
I love the way that how that worked.
And like, but yeah, and it has that cool twist. And sometimes they do a bigger twist. This one, it's like, hey, it's trick taker, 1 player. Mm-hmm. And you're like, wait, huh? That shouldn't work. What? That shouldn't work. And then you play and you're like, how does this work? Because it works really well. So, I mean, you're the one who showed this one to me. And, like, I already liked side room games quite a bit. When you showed it to me, I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, so good.
And then since then, I've gone down a rabbit hole of side room games, which are New Mexico natives, right? Represented up in Albuquerque, so represent New Mexico, that's right. And, yeah, I'm just so proud of, like, how many clever systems come out of this state. It's awesome. So side room games, that's my bias in there right there.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't work, and it really does. So.
It's somehow they make a trick taker work solo so well. What's neat about it is too, one of my least favorite types of trick taking games is bidding trick taking games.
Yes.
Where I'm like, I think I can win 2 tricks. I don't know if that's going to be possible because of the way things go.
That's an extra level.
Yeah. And so, but I really do dig the way this one works, and there's a lot of good choices in it. And I got to argue Flamecraft, which is one of the easier games, not as easy as like Tiny Towns when it comes to.
Deceptively
it's
easy.
So simple, yeah. It's kind of a worker placement. You're just putting something out, trying to gather the cards, trying to gather the resources to turn in for points. Pretty much it. beautiful production value for this one too. The mat, the cards, the meeples. If you got the Kickstarter version, it's even more through the roof. But the retail is fantastic. That's what I have. Yeah. There is a lot more meaningful choice kind of in this one, just because you can impact other players, whereas in For Northwood, you're only impacting yourself. But this is a tough one for me because I like both these games. I own both of these games. I'm going to have to go through this real quick. Game immersion. Honestly, you're going to be surprised on this one. I'm going to say For Northwood gets game immersion.
I'm not surprised by that.
I'm enamored. I have my memory of playing this game is we were at sea on our cruise, because I bought it in Seattle before my Alaskan cruise.
Right.
We're at sea. It's a sea day. We're just hanging out in the room. My wife was playing her Switch and stuff like that. And, I'm like, I'm just going to bust this out and read the rules and see how it plays. And I played it, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
How does this work? Yeah. Why does it work so well? And then I played it again. Yep. I played it 4 times on the cruise. Yep. And I won once, and I was like, I'm good. I'm not playing this for the rest of the trip. Yeah. But it works really well. The art and production, I think, goes to Flamecraft. Just out of the box, that player mat is fantastic. Beautiful. Both are legible. Both are the rule books are both well written. That is very important. I'm going to come back to Meaningful Choice. That one's going to be a tough one for me. Flamecraft, I think, is the ease of play one here as well, just because the simplicity and familiarity of the mechanism.
I agree with that.
The likelihood to get to the table. Like, don't get me wrong, I have no problem getting For Northwood to the table, but you have to be in the mood to play a solo game to get a solo game played. I could be like, hey, look.
Or everyone else has to be in a mood to not play
games with you. Yeah. Or I could take this over and it's like, look at these cute dragons, and be like, I want to play that one. Yeah. So it's much easier.
They designed it to look like a Miyazaki film, and they did a great job of representing that. Yeah.
And so, in the likelihood to get to the table, both of these games are actually easy to learn in a sense if you know trick takers, and that's where I'm coming from here. And that's why I think Flamecraft gets the ease of play. If you know trick taking games, then you would have no problem with For Northwood. Yeah, but if you're not familiar with any of that kind of classic card game style, this is going to be a little bit more of a difficult learning curve for you, because trick takings are not the easiest things to grok. To the point, one of our best friends, Gamehead Geek, still struggles like grokking, especially when they're throwing in all these stupid twists that we mentioned and stuff like that. Replay value. Both have decent replay value. Yeah. I think Flamecraft does have an expansion.
Yes.
I know they have the mini expansions that came with the Kickstarter stuff.
Yeah, they might.
Length of time scaling well. Both play fairly quickly. Minimum number of plays for the full experience. For Northwood does have a lot of variability, because if you're just playing the basic game, you're not playing with certain characters either. Right. Then you can add them in, and you randomize them every different, so you don't know what player powers you're going to get through the game. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. And so expandability. So with that being said, I think For Northwood goes on, but I'm not sure. What do you think, Flamecraft?
Game immersion.
Flamecraft. Oh no, that For Northwood.
For Northwood. Yeah, no, I actually agree with you on that, because there's something about it. It's like all you can do is control yourself, and the fact that you get those memorable moments where all right, I gotta talk to this king over here now. Oh, I don't think I'm prepared to convince him, but I'm going to do my best.
Still have his power.
Yeah, I have his power. I'm going to do my best, but he might be the deciding factor. And, I don't know how that's so thematic. Right? It makes no sense. But again, I can't help but rave about how clever it was. So game immersion is For Northwood. Art and production is Flamecraft. Meaningful choice, I think, is For Northwood. I mean, because it's really tricky to do that.
I give you that.
Because, that's an... Bidding and trick-taking games is next-level thought. Yeah. That is the strategy to your tactics as you're playing. That's where it becomes strategy and tactics both. Mm-hmm. And that's really just something that you will legitimately, the more you play it, the better you can keep getting, and there's that room for growth, the better you're going to get. Whereas, meaningful choice in Flamecraft, it's an abundance of wealth. Anything you do will get you a lot of good stuff. Yeah. It's just which good stuff do you kind of like more than others.
And the thing is, there's certain points in Flamecraft, too, where if you have enough resources, but there's nothing that you can turn those resources in because you need those cards to flip up, that could get you a little stalled.
I personally think For Northwood.
I agree with For Northwood.
Okay, cool. I mean, we are champions of For Northwood. Flamecraft would probably be really well up against almost anything else. But yeah. Wow, we had some surprising ones.
Yeah, so I have to do the little quick thing over here. Mice and Mystics had 0% of the vote. It was the first one eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
Apiary was the next one. It had 12% of the vote, so it was getting a little love here too. Afterwards, we had Tiny Towns moving on and eliminating Bunny Kingdom, which had 6% of the vote.
Yep.
And the last one was Flamecraft, which got eliminated. It had 9% of the vote. Those are the 4 that got eliminated. Now we have the number 1 seed Everdell going up against the 7 seed Libertalia, and the 5 seed 4 Northwood going up against the 6 seed Tiny Towns.
Cool. Let's quick talk about some of our comments in the thing. Yeah, you bring up a good point, right? Trick-taking game is great with just a deck of cards. That's all you need. Pepper is my go-to trick-taking. Love Pepper. Deep Sea Adventure, yeah. I still play it less than the crew.
Okay, I'm trying to think. Are they talking about Deep Sea, like Endeavor Deep Sea, or are you talking about the Missions Deep Sea?
Missions Deep Sea.
Okay.
Because they're talking about the crew.
I haven't played my Missions Deep Sea yet. I need to, but I've been working on the crew, and I've been mainly playing the Lord of the Rings lately.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic deck builder.
Yeah, it's interesting. Cool. All right, here we go. Everdell versus Libertalia. I'm starting us off again.
That coin loves you.
It does. Normally
You get
it's the other
Everdell.
one. Everdell. Okay, cool. So, Everdell, like I said, I mean, I have my quarrels. I have some small quarrels with it.
They're not small.
No, well, that tree is not small, right? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, the tree looks so cool and you're so excited to play it, and it's such a letdown that it's frustrating. That's why I have such a quarrel with it, is because if it wasn't like that, it would have been better. So, it is what it is. So, with that being said, though, Everdell, there's a reason it's up there. It's a reason it's the number 1 ranked on our list that him and I have both played. And that's because that engine building, that tableau building, is something that people really appreciate. Mm-hmm. And while it never happened in the games I played, I would see everybody else get that feeling of like, well, I feel like I played really smartly because it all worked out the way I needed it to work out. Mm-hmm. And half of that is random, and half of that is what it is. But then at the same time, that doesn't mean that people don't feel the other way, right? And I get why people, when that thing falls into place, are like, yeah, this is where it's at, and they feel proud of what they did, and rightfully so.
I keep telling you, you just got to get good.
No, it's not a matter of get good. I need to play it enough where I get randomly good, or randomly a good pull. Like, because, again, like, I get why people would like it, but that was my biggest thing about it. But it is going up against Libertalia, which doesn't have that issue.
Does it?
Ever. And it's a simultaneous
Hey, guess what?
play.
I can sit anywhere on the table and
more.
see the board.
And you can sit anywhere on the table. It's so vividly clear. You could be upside down and it won't matter. You know exactly what's going down. Yeah, I mean, it's just like... Oh, man. Like, I want to give Everdell that just... Like, what? Okay, here's what it does differently. While Libertalia has about 40 different cards that all work in different ways, which is really clever, this has like 200 cards.
A lot of cards.
And almost all of them are different. I mean, there are duplicates.
There are some that have to work together.
I'm exaggerating. There's duplicates. There's ones that work together and stuff. But there's a lot more variety as far as the deck goes. Now, that's
also a hindrance.
It's a hindrance. It's a catch-22. Libertalia... You have to play smartly because you're playing the random isn't in how you get your cards. It's the random is what gets pulled to everybody, and you all have that same hindrance to go off of. So that's interesting. Personally, again, I'm gonna go back. I feel like Libertalia feels more like a pirate thing, where I'm raiding, I'm stealing loot, I'm being sometimes questionably ethics like
all the time with this guy.
Well, I mean, as far as the game goes. More than Everdell, I feel like Critters, like making a homestead or whatever, like in a lovely look. Not by much. I think there is still a lot of that theme that comes through with Everdell, just because
Libertalia.
Okay, fine. Libertalia.
No, he's asking which one
Oh
scales
yeah,
better.
Libertalia, because it's simultaneous play. So
Yeah.
there you go. And actually, Everdell, like, there's a lot of AP in it involved. Art and production. I mean, Libertalia doesn't have a thing that gets it. No, actually, there is one minor graphical problem. The little gem on the treasure chests are the ones color coded to the player pieces, and it's kind of hard to see the color because that's the only differentiation. I'm picking at straws here. That's about the most I can say about the production problem. Ease of play, I think Libertalia is still easier. Meaningful choice, I still think Libertalia is more meaningful choice. I mean, I can see it either one, but I just feel like Libertalia is more.
He's not taking his bias out. That's what
I am not arguing for Everdell, am I? All right, meaningful choice is Everdell because there is more to do, and you know what? I'm gonna stop talking. You're right. I'm putting my bias in. Please, let's correct this.
All right.
Send us on our way, sir. Send us home.
All right. For me, I think Libertalia is still taking it because it is the most immersive game out of these two. I really feel I'm having a I think I do well at Everdell, but even when I'm losing in Libertalia, which is a very important thing, I still feel I'm like, I did something cool that turn, or I did this, or I did that. I stole a coin from you, or something like that. I feel really cool, and I get into that theme as well, which leads to that player interaction. Is like, why would you play that now? That could go later. Why are you playing it at this point in time? That's it. You're walking the plank. Get out that door.
Yeah,
right?
and then like 4 turns later, you're like, oh, you're the only one left with this card. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah, that kind of thing.
You knew what you were doing.
And what I like about it too is that the tiebreaker is whoever is the more reputable pirate.
Yeah.
So like, if I'm further on the track here, mine's gonna be better. Mine's gonna be better than yours. That kind of thing.
Yep.
And that is also interesting. So it has that player interaction and those role play moments. So like, okay, I see where this is going here, and it leads to those memorable moments too. I remember getting yelled at by Game Geek because of the card I played, and it did something to him, and he's like, "Why would you do that to me? I am not the threat." I'm like, "I didn't do it to attack you. I just played that card in my hand because I want to play this later." That kind of thing. Yep. I love that aspect of it. The art and production, I think that is Everdell. The pieces and components, the graphic design's really well done. The only issue is the tree, and even then, you have that now sideboard that takes the tree away. And the art is great. I love the art in Everdell, even though the other art makes me go watch a Disney movie. But meaningful choice, I think, for me, as much as I love the choices in Everdell, I think it's in Libertalia because you are impacting the other players, especially if you're the more reputable pirate. Your stuff is going to trigger better than the other people, so that's going to trigger first. That's going to give you a better ability. That may give you the chance to get better gold or treasure or whatever. That's also the fact that you're playing cards out to what everybody else is doing. And it's like, we're all playing the same cards. It's how you play them. And it's like, okay, I know he's played that one, so I don't have to worry about that card. So do I save this now? You know what? I'm going to play this one because I still get something good, and I get to see what these other two jokers are going to do. Are they going to play that card now, which makes it more successful for me to play my high card later, and that kind of thing. And again, it is the simplest of simple. It is simultaneous play, the pirate theme that kind of, like my wife, when she saw this, she was like, oh, that looks like Treasure Planet. We should put the Treasure Planet soundtrack when we play this game. Yeah. So that is the simplicity and the familiarity of the mechanism is simultaneous play. You're just playing a card out and you just follow the track. Yep. As well as the likelihood to get to the table, that mechanism. Yeah. It is infinitely better. I've taught both of these games, and this one is a much easier teach. Libertalia is so simple. Yep. It's like, one person, I'll do it since I'm teaching the game. I'm going to draw 6 cards. I'm going to tell you guys to dig through your things, and you're going to grab those 6 cards. That's what we're playing with this round. That's how it's going to go. I'm the only one that's shuffling my deck. We're playing with these 6 cards. These are what they do.
You know how I actually teach it? Like, whenever I'm actually at the shop demoing this game, because it's one that I demo pretty often, and people fall in love with it, I actually go, okay, you wouldn't do this like in a normal turn, but here's how we're going to do it. Shuffle up your cards, pick one at random. We're going to show you how everything triggers. Mm-hmm. And then so everybody plays the one at random, we put them in order, and we act like as if we actually played it that way. Yeah. Like, now you see how they work. Everyone take a turn, read a card out loud so everyone understands what all their cards do, and then now we choose. And then that has made the teach much more meaningful.
The thing about it, too, is it's simultaneous play. So you're just playing your cards out. And then after that, it just triggers left to right and then right to left, depending on what part of the day you're in. And then some of them will have special abilities that trigger during those specific times. But it's very easy to see. Is it nighttime? Is it daytime? Is it twilight phase and stuff like that? And it tells you on a track where you're technically at. So it's infinitely eligible or legible for you to read, or ready to easily to read. You know where everything is. And so that is Libertalia. The replay value is ever dead low. And so 3-2 once again, but I think Libertalia does move on. And it's just because how many expansions and just going through all those cards in one. So, but yeah, Libertalia moves on.
Cool. Libertalia moves on. Wow, an upset, huh?
Yeah.
Send your hate mail to Daniel at everydayboardgames.com.
Remember, numero dos. Numero dos.
By the way, that is not a real email. Please don't do that. All right. Our next round is going to be Fort Northwood versus Tiny Towns. Wow. Battle of the different games.
Yeah.
You'll be starting.
Oh, my God. I get to do something.
Yeah, Dice Track. I agree. Great game. If you're enjoying yourself losing, you don't care about winning or losing, but you're having fun no matter what, it's a great game.
I get Fort Northwood.
Cool.
Against Tiny Towns.
Tiny Town scales better.
It does.
More players.
Very much so. That's about as much as I can give it. I used to own Tiny Towns. It just never got played because it's bingo. It literally just bingo.
It's familiar.
It's fine for what it's doing.
Yeah.
I have more fun playing Fort Northwood. For me, game immersion is in Fort Northwood. That gets it hands down. And here's the big thing. I don't feel like I'm doing anything clever per se. It's just bingo. I'm calling glass. Okay, now where am I going to put this glass? Okay, I'm going to do that. I have no interaction with anybody else at the table other than, why would you call that? I don't need that right now. Don't call that. Where am I going to put this on my board? That's it. You're just yelling at them because they called something you don't need and basically just wasting space on your board. The memorable moments, for Northwood, I just feel sometimes so clever when I'm able to pull it off. I've played this more than 4 times, but I remember at the cruise, I played it 4 times, and when I won, I'm like, I'm good, I'm done. That's where I'm stopping for right now. I'm going to play some other stuff and see where that goes, because I took a lot of solo games with me, because I'm like, I'm going to come back to this in a little bit. I come back, and I played it 4 more times, didn't win a single time. I've only won maybe 3 out of the plethora of games I played on this one because it plays so well. And I love the different powers these creatures give you and how you randomize them. Like, would this be the good time to play this one? You know what? I have to go big and win all these tricks. So I am going to play this power where it allows me to draw up cards and to discard all my low cards or whatever I want to discard. That is helpful. The art and production in Tiny Towns is nice, and the cubes are good, and it looks really good, but I'm enamored with the artwork in Fort Northwood. For something that makes it look like a kiddie game, it is so good. The card stock is great. It's illegible. That rule book, that thing, for how small that rule book is so easy to read, even with my old eyes. So, yeah, for me, Meaningful Choice also is for Northwood. I could give art and production to Tiny Towns, but Meaningful Choice, and I don't know, here on the ease of play aspect of it.
I think that's Tiny Towns personally.
I think so because of the bingo and the fact that, again, as I go in, if you're coming into this without knowing trick-taking games, it's going to be a little bit more for you to gronk for Northwood, even though it's simple, and it's because of the bidding aspect of it. If you've never played a bidding,
that's what makes the game amazing. But it makes it harder
to learn. So I give it 3-2, but I'll hear what you got to say.
You're thinking 3-2 for Tiny Towns?
Or no, for Northwood. I'm giving art and production to For Northwood. I love the art and the graphic design compared to the pieces and components are better in Tiny Towns, but it's fine for what it is. Okay. I like the art better in For Northwood, and I think the graphic design is just so much more legible.
Yeah. There's only one real thing I have against the production of Tiny Towns. I'll get into that in a minute. But, again, replay value, that's Tiny Towns, hands down.
Oh, yeah.
Ease of play, I think, is Tiny Towns. Game immersion is for Northwood. Meaningful Choice for Northwood. I agree with you on all those. It really just boils down to art and production. And the big thing is the one that I have the biggest concern about is there is a way to play the game. It includes some cards that lets you pull those up if you don't want to or if you don't want to have one person calling out the different things. Like you could pick a resource, Instead, you can actually do it with cards, random pull, and then kind of go with it. So that way it's a little more balanced either way. And then that way you'll have more variety, and it's not beholden to on whoever's picking it based on their strategy, which is also part of the lovely parts of the game. It does only show the color cubes on the card.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't actually...
I forgot about this.
It doesn't actually show, what resource they're supposed to represent. It's not glass or stone or whatever. Now, granted, AEG did a great job of picking those colors because they're not that difficult for us to see. But it is a lighter red, almost like an orangish, and some yellows and some grays. So it's not perfect, but it is better than a lot of cube-based games I've seen. With that being said, that's the only production thing I have with it, because the production of what it comes with, I think, the pieces and components are phenomenal.
Yeah,
art. The buildings are cool. The art on the buildings are fine. But I think we realistically do have to... Oh, actually, yeah, the graphic design, because of the shape, the shapes are easy to see, but the colors...
Now that you mentioned it to me, I just remembered that's one of the reasons I sold Tiny Towns, because I was struggling with the cubes.
Right. Yep. Now, if they have an upgraded bit where instead it comes with the cards and then actual shaped pieces, sure, that would fix the problem. But again, they've made it very accessible. So I agree. I think 4 Northwood moves on. Wow. Okay. With that being said,
this was not where I thought the finals was going to be.
No, very much not. I thought it was going to be Everdell versus probably Flamecraft, honestly.
All right. So the first game eliminated was Everdell. That was our number one vote getter. I believe it had 25% of the vote.
Dark Horse.
Tiny Towns was also eliminated. It had 5% of the vote.
There we go. And yeah, Dice Truck, it's teachability of games is a really important thing. And actually, that's a big knock for 4 Northwood, by the way. That it's not... Solo games aren't something somebody's going to teach you.
I taught you Final Girl.
It's rare, but what I'm saying is that's not really a thing. It's kind of expected that you're already playing the game by yourself. You're going to go online and find an instruction video, or you're sitting there reading a rule book. It's not something that's because if somebody teaches you how to play it, hey Masmo. If somebody teaches you a solo game, I did that. Did I teach you Black Sonata yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I taught my friend Jim, our mutual friend Jim, how to play it, and we just absolutely loved just sitting. I sat there watching him playing it, and I was still enamored by just watching him play.
Yeah.
That's rare for a solo game. I wouldn't want to do that with Onirim, right?
Yeah.
Because then you're having a lot of fun. It's cool. I already know what I would do, and I'd just be
I know what you would be. I know what you would be doing. Even if you wouldn't be watching me, you'd pull up Onirim on your phone and play.
Yeah, that's probably playing my own. Yeah, exactly. No, so that's my big thing about it.
No, I don't disagree.
Either way. All right, our finals. Here we go. We go Libertalia, Winds of Galecrest versus 4 Northwood. This last round, we don't flip the coin of doom. We don't pull from the cup of doom. Real simple how this works.
We just go through our gamer criteria. Whoever wins the most wins. If we got to, we go to the fan vote if there's a tie because something is a wash. For me, the one that stands out the most for me, personally, is the ease of play.
Okay.
And that is, for me, hands down Libertalia. And again, it's what we've been talking about with the trick-taking aspect of it. It's not an easy game to teach.
Right.
If you're not familiar with bidding trick-taking games, that's going to be a bit of an issue as well. If you're not familiar with trick-taking games and you're being taught this game, it's going to take you a little bit to gronk it as well. So that's the big part of it. And if you're not familiar with trick-taking games, that the simplicity and familiar in the mechanism is going to hurt you because you're not familiar with it. Whereas Libertalia is you play a card simultaneously and you go through the track, go back through the track.
Yeah.
So I think ease of play is Libertalia.
The one that I think is really obvious for me is replay value. And that's also Libertalia. And that's because length of time and scaling well. Yeah, Libertalia is not the shortest game, but it does play 6 players. And we've been saying simultaneous play. It's not technically simultaneous. It's
simultaneously the cards, and then they get put in an order.
And then the cards trigger in an order. So there is, more players will have a little bit more time. But, 4 Northwood is only a 1-player game, And even with it being a one-player game, each round, if you're really like gronking it, you're sitting there and probably playing like 3 to 5 minutes per round, right? And you have to do like 7 rounds on if you're good. If you play like me, it's over pretty quick. But I'm out.
I've ended quicker than I've actually.
So, but what I'm saying though is that scaling. Likely, the scaling, the replay value, minimum number of plays. You're not seeing anything new for Northwood, so I think that's Libertalia as well.
Yeah, really, the only thing you see new is when you get into the second game and you're using the advanced characters, and then when you get to after you get used to that, you get into the third game and you're doing the randomized. Okay, this guy's my power or my helper.
Yeah.
This guy goes over here.
Yep, exactly.
That kind of thing. Other than that, there's not much different. The other one, I think, I am. Already, because I was going through it as well as while you were making your argument, because I don't disagree with you on the replay value, is meaningful choice. Even though you're not playing against another player, I think For Northwood just has much more of that meaningful choice for me.
It has strategy and tactics. Yeah. Back to back. Very, very well done.
There's not really an arbitrary choice because you're beholden with your hand or if you're going to use that power. It's really what it is. So I think For Northwood gets meaningful choice.
I agree. Game immersion. Well, so here's the thing. We already have scored 3 of these. I want to give another point for Northwood. I personally think both of the remaining go to Libertalia. But please argue me away from it because I don't know.
Honestly, I've played Libertalia a couple times. I played For Northwood way more. But I have enjoyed my plays of Libertalia. But I'm enamored. I have no... my thing is oh man, I've lost after 3 rounds or something like that. There's no way... Because I lost a big point card. There's no way I'm going to be able to make good points. All right, let's shuffle it up and play again. I love that aspect because I just enjoy it. I can spend an hour playing several games of For Northwood. I play one game of Libertalia. As much as I love that game, I'm I'm good. Yeah. I lost. That's fine. I had a good time with it. For Northwood is I lost. What can I do better? That kind of thing.
Okay.
And I'm gonna.
It's more fun to lose.
It's more fun to lose, and I'll give you an idea. It's right up there for me. One of the best solo games to play is one that you created, Ravel, where it's that little bit of a puzzle where I'm oh no, I lost. I got my butt kicked.
Was that a quick offhanded compliment that you just threw in there and then quickly tried to go away from it without I was not expecting. Thank you, but huh?
No, I do love Ravel. I love that puzzle, and I'm oh no, I lost. Let me go back to it. Libertalia, oh no, I lost. That was cool. I still haven't played it for months now, and that's that kind of thing. It's I don't want to go back to it just immediately.
Well, now since it was compared to Ravel, game immersion has to go to For Northwood. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, and so, but there's more table talk, but even then it's just more why would you play that? What's going on? I have more memorable moments, and honestly, I go back to the cruise while I'm playing there. I don't remember everything that happened with Libertalia that made me stand up and go stuff like that, other than getting yelled at by Gamehead Geek. But that's usually most games. No. So for me,
no, the memorable moments is where it's all right, I need to play high because I need to play turn order. I'm gonna play a 50, or I'm gonna play 38, and everyone else 40. I'm how? I played the second highest card, and I'm the first player. What in the world? That's that moment.
But that's so few far between for me. It's happened to me twice when it comes to that way. Where
almost every time I teach it, it's there's one moment what the?
No, my personal favorite is when you're doing that, and you're oh my God, we're tied. Wait, where am I on the track? God, he's bigger. He's more reputable than me. No!
How dare you complimented the mayor accordingly? How dare you?
That is pretty much my memorable moment. Whereas I'm always oh, if I do this and I do that, that kind of thing. But I agree with you. I think art production is Libertalia. Therefore, Libertalia wins.
Cool.
And yes, we're talking about wins of G.A.M.E.R.
Yep. Libertalia is the winner of today's top 8 debate for Anthropomorphic Animals.
And specifically, Libertalia wins of G.A.M.E.R.
Yep, the ones with animals. So, that was all right, let's see. Masmo, what did you say? The variant in Libertalia wins of G.A.M.E.R. When you win the tie, you choose where you go in the turn order between the tie instead of going first always. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it kind of swaps and stuff. That's a really clever thing. The snap decision, which game to game, which one you right to play right now, given the choice. Yeah, it kind of does, right? I think it's whether you're with a group or not, really,
Yeah.
decides which game you would play. I mean, obviously, like, if you're
Yeah,
alone,
yeah.
you're not going to play Libertalia, even though there is an Automa.
I was like, I could.
Yeah, you could, but I would play For Northwood.
Well,
Like,
but even then, I've had more fun playing,
Yeah.
not Libertalia, For Northwood. I do enjoy Libertalia. It's not even my favorite. It's up there, but it's not even my favorite Stonemaier game.
yeah. I've had just as much fun both of them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I like them both. I mean, Libertalia was...
You have more fun teaching Libertalia and watching other people play it.
Right. It's more fun to watch than watching somebody play For Northwood. Like, all that is theater of the mind at that point. It's not as fun for me to watch. Now, Black Sonata, that's fun to watch. Because you watch him like, how is this working so well? What are you asking me to do with my brain? I love it. So, anyway, that's it for today's episode. If you want to email us, we have an email, everydayboardgames2020@gmail.com. Email us for ideas for future episodes. Enter in future contests, or whether it's just to say hello. Also, we have Instagram, instagram.com/everydayboardgames. Come check out the games that Daniel and I have been playing together, and other things that we tend to post from time to time.
Especially, we might be doing some short form stuff coming up here in a couple months.
Yes, I have plans.
All right. And all video re-uploads and reviews are found under youtube.com/@everydayboardgames. And if you like what we do, there are 3 things you can do to help us grow on the platform. Subscribe if you're not, like the video, and comment down below and tell us your thoughts on the subject. You're going a little fast there.
Yeah, no, I had 3. There are 3 things you can do. Like the video, and I counted down, I was like, 2... 1 and 3. Nailed it. Anyway, we stream our episodes live at twitch.tv/everydayboardgames. Make sure you follow us there so that way you get notified when we join in on live episode. And thank you to Masmo, Colt Cardboard, and Dice Chuck for joining us in our chat today, and anybody else who watched our episodes live.
As well as all audio versions can be found on most podcast platforms. This is under Everyday Board Games Podcast. This includes Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, and Apple.
So as always, I've been your host, Daniel.
And I've been your host, Daniel.
And we want to thank you for listening to Everyday Board Games.
And remember, every day is a good day for board gaming.